You ever feel like you're just not good enough? And not good enough comes in many different flavors. It can be, I'm not good looking enough. I'm not rich enough. I'm not tall enough. I'm not short enough. I'm not skinny enough. I am not beefy enough. I'm not strong enough. I'm not confident enough. I'm not outgoing enough. I'm not reserved enough. I'm not fun enough. I'm not exciting enough. And on and on and on. But it all comes down to feeling like you're just not good enough. It's that feeling of insufficiency or inadequacy. Like you just haven't reached the level that you feel like you need to reach in order to be the person that you think you should be. So what can we do about this? How can we overcome this feeling of not being good enough? Now, some people, most people, actually try to gain the feeling of being good enough by doing those things that they think will make them that good. If they feel like they're not rich enough, they chase money to no end so that they can feel rich enough. If they don't feel like they've quite made it, if they don't feel like they're famous enough, then they chase fame. Or if they just don't feel like they're good enough, just this sense of inadequacy that's generic, they go after the things that other people judge as success so that they can prove themselves to the people around them. But ultimately what they're doing is trying to prove themselves to themselves. Trying to use some external measure to judge their own adequacy by. And the thing is that it doesn't work. Because no matter how much money you have, there's probably somebody else that has more. No matter how beautiful you are, there's probably somebody else who is more beautiful, or at least some people think they're more beautiful than you are. No matter how confident you think you are or how confident you've become, there's probably somebody else who you might believe is more confident than you are. Because we all judge ourselves on a very strict scale, and we can't get inside the feelings of other people to actually know how they feel about themselves. They may iterate it to us through words, but it doesn't really get to the core of how they feel inside. So while we're judging ourselves on a regular basis about our own inadequacy, pretty much everybody else is doing the same thing about themselves. So, where is it that you feel inadequate? Where is it that you feel like you're not good enough? Can you just let that go? Just for now, could you let it go? Could you let go of this feeling of inadequacy? Could you let go of judging yourself? Could you let go of that feeling of not being good enough? Could you look at the little child within you and just say to that little child, "Come here, sweetie. Come here, little boy." Whatever it is, that little person inside of you, and say to that person, "I love you and you're always good enough. You've always been good enough, and you always will be good enough to me. And let go of that feeling of not being good enough. Just let it go. Tell that little child inside of you that you love him or her. And continue to give that child love every moment of every day. Every time you think about it, every time you have this twinge of inadequacy, this feeling of, I screwed up, I didn't quite make it, I failed, I feel like I'm not good enough again, somebody's criticizing me, I'm criticizing myself. As soon as you catch that, let it go. Ask yourself, can I stop criticizing myself? Maybe that other person criticized me, but can I let go of that criticism? Because if I listen to it, I'm personalizing it, and I'm actually doing the criticizing myself within me. So can I let go of criticizing myself? And then can I love myself? Even in that area where I felt criticized, where I felt like I criticized myself. Can I love myself even through the failures, through the screw-ups, through my mistakes, through my outright stupidity in some of the things that I do, and love myself regardless, even more than anybody else could possibly love me? Can I love myself that way? Just ask yourself, what is it that keeps me from really loving myself? What is it that holds me back from fully loving myself? And can I let that go? Can I let that resistance to loving myself go? Would I let it go? Am I ready to let it go? And just let go of that feeling of inadequacy. Practice that. Practice it daily. Because loving yourself is powerful. And when you truly love yourself, that love you'll project onto other people and they will feel it. Love yourself first, and others will feel the love that you have for yourself because you'll project it onto them. It's just like when you are criticizing yourself, when you're self-critical, when you beat yourself up over and over and over again, that energy other people feel. And even if you don't make an outright criticism of somebody else, they can feel the energy of that criticism of yourself. And they may see it in you as weakness or a sign of your lack of self-confidence. But as you love yourself, you relax into who you are. You become confident in who you are and can be authentic with yourself. You stop lying to yourself because you're okay with who you are. And then you no longer lie to others because you feel okay being who you are. It doesn't matter what others think because you love yourself, and you have been and always will be your own worst critic. So give yourself a break. Love yourself, appreciate yourself, And just ask yourself if you can let that inadequacy go. Just for now. And let it go. And let it go. And let it go.